or Israelite born, whether it be from this diaspora, from overseas, four corners of the earth where Israel has been spread and scattered in the midst of our wickedness. But the Heavenly Father said he would call us from the four corners and we would return calling his name. So it's truly a blessing to be here at this time, in this place, keeping the Shabbat day with the children of Israel. This Shabbat evening, Most High is so gracious and merciful unto his children that he's allowed us to gather together in this place. He allowed us to have it broadcast throughout Israel, the gathering of the saints of the Heavenly Father. So we're truly blessed and we're truly thankful for this opportunity. Tonight we're going to go into some scriptures that Brother Sham Shwan has set aside and due diligence, and the Holy Spirit has inspired him to put this lesson together. So we're going to receive of the understanding that he's going to share with us this evening. So all praises to Yahweh, B'Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. I'm going to get Colossians 3, verse 17. So we can give thanks to the Most High in the name of his only begotten Son, the anointed King, and Mashiach Yahushua. Colossians 3, verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all B'Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, giving thanks to Yahweh and the Father by Hamashiach Yahushua.
So again, what we're going to go into on how we should be communicating as Israelites. This is part of our words and our deeds. This is going to have both applications in there. So whatever we say out of our mouth, we got to make sure we're using the Most High's words when we speak, and not using our vain words, because our words mean nothing, as we know. So we're about to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to start off with Philippians chapter 1, verse 27. And let's get some understanding, diving into this scriptures. So again, the topic tonight is communication, dealing with your brothers that's in Israel or even out of Israel. So we know how to communicate and know how to conduct ourselves in the Holy Spirit. You got it?
Philippians 1, verse 27.
Come.
Only let your conversation be as it becometh the gospel of Yahushua, that whether I come and see you or else be absent, I may hear of your affairs, that ye stand fast in one spirit, with one mind, striving together for the faith of the gospel.
So that's what we're about to deal with, the conversation, dealing with Hamashiach Yahushua, the gospels. What did Yahushua teach? Because as we know, he's not here right now, but he's looking. The Most High is also looking. So when we communicate with other people, they're also looking at us, how we communicate with people. I ain't saying we got to have a smooth voice like Joel Osteen, but at the same time, we got to know what we're talking about, proving everything we say with these scriptures. So when we deal with the gospels, the prophets, we're going to let the Most High's word speak for us, so we don't use vain opinions. And to say it again, our affairs need to be in order, dealing with the Most High. So we can't be just jumping around when we deal with scriptures. We got to be on point when we deal with our scriptures, and we trying to bring our brother, because again, our whole objective is to be servants of the Most High, to bring Jacob again back to the Most High, right? Keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, not just going out doing what we want to do. And a lot of people get caught up doing that, doing what they want to do when they deal with these scriptures, how they feel, how they feel, get emotional. So we need to learn how to be patient when we deal with brothers, because their eyes not open. So because you on the level, that don't mean they're on the same level with you. So we like to, when we deal with people, and I'm good for doing this myself, when I deal with a brother and I see that he's not grasping it, I tend to get upset. And but I gotta realize this brother here don't got the same understanding I got. I gotta be patient with him. Long suffering for my brother. So that's the whole point dealing with these scriptures. Read it one more time for me.
Once again, Philippians 1 verse 27. Only let your conversation be as it becometh the gospel of Yahushua.
Pause. So the gospel of Yahushua is what? Samuel, what's the gospel of Yahushua?
It's like the good news of what he taught his disciples,
What did he teach the disciples?
the commandments.
Not only did he teach them commandments,
Repent and come back to the repent and come back to the commandments.
exactly, but exactly on how to treat each other. Because commandments is good, but if you don't know how to apply the commandments, you're just going to be using them again, just to try to get one up on your brother. You're not doing it, so you don't know nothing. It's not about that. We got to be long suffering with our brother. Go ahead.
What if somebody got to understand it, but then they just realize it's a lot of work that they got to put in? What could you do? Do you let them just like, all right, it's your choice now, or what could you do to kind of let them know it's not grievous to do these commandments?
We're going to get into the scriptures as well, because I'm going to touch on that as well, because a lot of our brothers, because again, the reason why I'm doing this class, because a lot of Israelites popping up now. They look at a lot of videos on YouTube, and they think they can just go out there and do the work. They ain't put no good work in. In the old school, you had 2 years you got to put in before you even try to get out there and teach. When you sit up under an elder, you can just watch and see how they move and see what they're done. It's a maturity thing with it. You got to mature in this word. A lot of brothers try to get this word and think they try to dive into the meat without dealing with the milk first. You understand? Go ahead. No, we can get it. All right.
I'm going to address that question, or what Samson is bringing out. Yahushua, the people had a law, but there was something missing. We're going to prove what that is.
Right.
All right, we're going to show it in the scriptures. All right. 1 Timothy 1 and 8. 1 Timothy 1 and 8.
All right. 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 8.
Uh-huh.
But we know that the law is good.
Right.
If a man use it lawfully.
Right. So you can use the law unlawfully.
Okay.
You can use the law to be what? Lords over men. Right? Because you know more than them. So you say what? You my fruit. You up underneath me. Right? All of a sudden, I'm your elder when I'm not even an elder. You see a lot of that in Israel. All of a sudden, this brother's elder. They about the same age. The brother learned two weeks before you did. Now he's your elder. You're not an elder, brother. You know what I mean? You should be restoring your brother in meekness and say, listen, I'm learning so you can learn. All right? It's not for us to put ourselves on any pedestals or give ourselves any large, some position. Right? This was what was being done. This is what Yahushua saw the Pharisees doing, and he rebuked that spirit. And we're going to prove that in a minute. 2 Timothy 2 and 5.
2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. And everything.
Start with 2 and 3.
2 and 3, come. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3.
Right?
Though therefore endure hardness,
right,
as a good soldier of a Mashiach Yahushua.
Come on.
No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life.
Come on.
That he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier.
So now a lot of people don't realize when they're looking for position, they're looking for props, they're looking for their name and lights or whatever the hell they're looking for.
Yep.
They're entangling their affairs of the things of this life. Who cares what you are now? We all nothing now. Whether you was in this truth 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, you nothing now. Only thing that's going to speak for you is your works.
Done.
Right? You have no position. There's no crown. Right? When they crucified our Lord, they put a crown on his head to mock him.
Done.
They didn't put a crown on his head and say, all right, rule. They put a crown on his head and mocked him and said, the king of the Jews. Right? As they cut him down. Right? So how are we gonna be kings now? And think we're majestic now. We got position when our Lord, our King didn't get his seat yet. We'll get seated when he gets seated. Everybody understand that? That's when you get your seat. Now you just work. You just work. That's it. Right? We're brothers teaching brothers. Right? We are counseling one another. We're trying to, help each other serve your help. Right? That's it. Okay. Read on.
Verse 5. And if a man also strive for masteries.
If a man strive for masteries, how do you strive for masteries? By doing what? Practice, right? Right? Study. Right? Read, study, sharpen your skills, make sure you got this understanding, go deeper. Right? Read on.
Yet it is he not crowned.
Yet is he not crowned. He gets no crown. You striving for masteries, you want to be sharp, you want all to have all the breakdowns and have all the answers. But you're not going to get the crown. Read on.
Except he strive lawfully.
Except you strive lawfully. Then when it's time for the crowns to be given out, your crown will be there as well. All right? The scriptures say that what? We're going to be glorified when our King is glorified. They ain't going to be glorified before him. Okay? Before he comes, we need to have what? Strive indoor hardness. Right? Read on.
Verse 6. The husbandman that laboreth must be first partaker of the fruits.
Right, so what's a husbandman? A farmer. Yeah. Right? A farmer that laboreth, you in the farm, you sowing, you working for the, you gotta first be the first the partaker of the fruit, meaning that what? You have to do as you say. Right? If we are pushing the Most High laws, we got to be found keeping the Most High laws. If the Most High says we're supposed to be meek and conversate with one another with lowliness, and I know you got all the scriptures, you're going to go into them, right? That how can we boost up and boast of ourselves? Okay. And not boast of ourselves. All we got to do is keep a meek spirit with one another. So Mashiach came to really show that and cut that spirit. That's one of the major things that Mashiach came to do. He came to cut that hypocrite spirit that's in Israel. It's still in Israel. Right? We have to use the lessons of the Mashiach Yahushua to cut that spirit out of Israel. Everybody understand that? Anytime you see it, you're going to use the lessons of Mashiach Yahushua gave us to cut that spirit. One more scripture there. Matthew 25. $23. 23, and you can start with 23 and 1, read the first 3 verses, and jump down to 23.
Matthew chapter 23, verse 1. Then spake Yahushua to the multitudes and to his disciples, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat.
Right, what does that mean that they sit in Moses' seat?
They give the law.
They give the law. They did what Moses did, right? That's their job, right? Read on.
And therefore, whatsoever they bid you observe.
Right? So they sit in Moses' seat, and they're delivering the laws of the Most High God. So Yahushua didn't come to deliver the law. The law was being delivered by the scribes and the Pharisees, right? But what was he going to? What did he have to say? Read on.
That observe and do.
He said, they giving you the laws. Follow the laws. So anybody says that Jesus Christ came for you to break the law, that's the scripture right there, cut that whole spirit. Because he's telling the people, the Pharisees are doing what Moses did. What did Moses do? Give us the commandments. He said, follow what they tell you. Read on.
But do not ye after their
Now,
works.
this is what Yahweh came to bring. He said, but don't act like that. They teaching you right because they teach you out of Torah, but don't act like they act. Read on.
For they say
Right?
and do not.
They say and they don't do. Read.
For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne,
Right?
and lay them on men's shoulders.
Right?
But they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers.
Right. So what? Meaning that what? They start to act like they're nobles. Right? Now they kings. Right? They telling the people to give, but they don't give. You know what I'm saying? Like, how I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna come in and say you gotta pay offerings. I don't give offerings. Like, you don't give me your offer. Like, I'm super special like that in the Most High. I'm just like everybody else. We that sit up and orientate and give the Lord the Most High, we're the same as those that can. All right. Scriptures give us the parable of 99 sheep, right? We all valuable. Every one of us is valuable beside the Most High. If one of us get lost, the Most High, all of us will get that one. Right? Read on.
Verse 5. But all their works they do for to be seen of men.
To be what?
Seen of men.
Now, I'm the head of that school, I'm the head of this, I'm over this, I'm over them. That's my fruit, that's my flock. What are you talking about? Oh, let me put my t-shirt on everybody. I get a bunch of t-shirts that say, Shalom our flock. Put it on everybody. Right? It be gray and white. Right? I can't use, let me not say that. All right, gray and white. And then I put my t-shirt on everybody, and I go around everywhere I traveled, and everybody I taught, I make them wear my t-shirt so people can say how much people I've done taught, so I can get credit. A lot of people fall for that nonsense. We don't fall for that foolishness. I'm good there. What t-shirt you got on? What the color of your t-shirt is? All right. Most High is pulling Israel back together. Everybody understand that?
Come.
This is His work, not our work.
Come.
Right? We are blessed to be a part of the gathering of the children of Israel. Right? We're not trying to boost up ourselves and make ourselves into something when we know we're nothing. All right? Read on.
They made broad their phylacteries.
Right? They make broad their phylacteries. They're talking about their garments now extra big. Right? Now they got the big garments with all the shimmery stones all over it. Read on.
And enlarged the borders of their garments.
Come on.
And loved the uttermost, and loved the uppermost rooms at feasts.
Right, when the feast day comes, you can't, everybody feasting here, they feasting up there somewhere. Right? Oh no, you can't go up there. They got security, VIP, feast section. You don't touch that table. That's what the elders. Listen, I've been in this truth long enough. It was like that back in the days. I've been in this truth long enough, man. Yo, you could not go nowhere near the elder table. Right? And we respect our elders, but that spirit of, they're superstars, that's dead. That's dead. The elders today not supposed to move in that spirit. You ain't no superstar. We trying to help our brothers. We each one teach one. Read on.
And the chief seats in the synagogues.
Come on.
And greetings in the markets.
Right?
And
Rabbi, when they see you. Elder, priest, elder, most wise one. Right? They want these titles. Right? Apostolistic successors. Right? Read on.
And to be called of men.
Right?
Rabbi.
Come on.
But be not ye called rabbi.
Come on.
For one is your master.
One is your master. Read.
Even a Mashiach.
Come on.
And all ye are brethren.
And we all, right? We're all brothers. There's one master, Mashiach, he's above us, man. He's above us. And above Mashiach Yahushua is the Most High Yahweh. That's the order. The rest of us, we brethren. Read on.
Verse 9. And call no man your father upon the earth.
Call no man your father upon the earth. Now, that's not talking about your biological father. This is talking about when you go to the church system and, that's Father Henry. Or that's Father, whatever they do, Mathis of this church. Oh, he's the father of this church, right? The Episcopalians and the Catholics, and they call a man father. The scriptures clearly say, call no man father. Read.
For one is your father.
For what?
For one is your father.
For one is your father. Read on.
Which is in heaven.
Read on.
Neither be ye called masters.
Right? Abba Nawa Yahweh, which is in heaven. Abba Nawa means our father. Abba Nawa Yahweh. That's our father. All right? Read on.
For one is your master.
One is your master. What does it mean, master? It means Lord, it means ruler. Okay? It means this is your ruler. And we are lords of our household, and we will call each other Adon. You can call each other Adoni, Adon. That's Lord, lords and ladies, stuff like that. But don't call this man, this is Lord. He's he's head. If you're not with this brother, you're not in the truth. We see it all the time. Okay? You ain't found this brother, you ain't the truth. Do they read these scriptures? Read on.
Even a Mashiach.
Right?
But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant.
Shall be your what?
Your servant.
Your servant. Right? What does the word minister mean? Who knows? Servant. He that's greater among you be servant. Okay? Some people might say, well, you call yourself minister. Talking. First of all, I was called minister. I didn't call myself minister. Right? I was given that name. In other words, it means servant anyway. Right? I'm a servant anyway. So that's what I come to do, serve. As it's freely given to me, we give it. All the brethren that come through these gates, we teach to serve. We teach to serve. Be a servant. Right? Bring Israel back to the Father. Serve. Be that usher. Be that that one to bring the brother to the Father. That's it. Not bring him to your house and be Lord over them. Bring him to the Father. Read on.
Verse 12. And whatsoever shall exalt himself, and whosoever shall exalt himself,
Come on.
shall be a base.
Shall be what?
A base.
That means you're going to be brought down. If you want to make something out of yourself, the Most High going to bring you down. Read on. Come on.
And he that shall humble himself,
And if you humble yourself, read on.
shall be exalted.
The Most High going to raise you up. Right?
Psalm 75 verse 47.
Right. I'm going to stay right here. We'll stay right here. Read on.
But woe unto you,
Right.
scribes and Pharisees.
But what?
Woe unto you, scribes and
What does
Pharisees.
that mean? Destruction to the scribes and Pharisees. He said, woe unto you. You're going to be destroyed. Now, he just said, everything they teach you follow, right? Did he not just say that when we saw these chapters? Now he's talking about woe unto them. So that shows you what? You can teach the right thing. But if you ain't living right, woe unto you anyway. And that's crazy when you think about it, right? I mean, you could be teaching the right thing. You could be, thus saith the Most High, teaching the people and teaching them right. But woe unto you. Because why? What are your actions? How you living? You're not above because you teaching the word, you're not above the scrutiny of the Most High. Matter of fact, you magnified on you. Right? He said unto the wicked, who are they to have my precepts in your mouth? Right? No scripture I'm looking for is one that's not profitable to himself. One that teaches many, but unprofitable to himself. He said, we'll do that. Profitable to himself. We'll read on, I'll find it. All right, it's right here somewhere.
Verse 13. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men.
Right?
For ye neither go in yourselves.
Right, so you set up the kingdom of heaven against men. Meaning that you think you're going to determine who's righteous and who's not. You put that determination in your own head. Like, yo, brother, you don't come to this school, you ain't going to make it. right? This is the home of the truth, right? What do you say? Not affiliated with any Hebrew Israelites, other Hebrew Israelites. Home of the truth. You gotta be careful what you say,
Done.
right? I don't know how they do it and read the same scripture we read. I mean, I'll be too scared to say something like that. I don't know where their fear is, man. I put my fear in the Most High. I ain't gonna say nothing like that. All right? You gotta come through these gates. Read.
Neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in.
Right, so they not doing the right thing, and they trying to prevent other people from doing the right thing in the sight of the Most High. They ain't going, and they ain't gonna stop other people from going too, because they want to put men underneath them. They want to glorify themselves. They want to make men follow them. So if you're not righteous and men are following you, are they following righteousness? No. They gonna fall. When you fall, they gonna fall. Right? You know.
14. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees,
Right?
hypocrites.
What?
Hypocrites.
Hypocrites. Right? Read on.
For ye devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore ye shall receive the greater damnation.
Right?
You going?
Where you at?
15.
Jump down to 23.
23, okay. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees,
Right?
hypocrites! For ye pay tithes of mint and
Anise.
anise.
Right? Anise is a herb that's very valuable. So they pay tithes of mint and anise. They give good tithes. Right? Read on.
And cumin.
And cumin. Right? Cumin is another great spice. Right? That was very valuable. So they pay good tithes. They don't bring no short tithes to the service. Right? Read on.
And have omitted the weightier matters.
But they omitted the weightier matters of what?
Of the law.
Of the law. I mean that they've done this good thing, but they left out this part that's even more important than the tithes that they were given. Read on.
Judgment.
Judgment, proper judgment. Read on.
Mercy.
Proper showing mercy. Read on.
And faith.
And having faith, man. When you omit those three, it doesn't matter. You can give all the great tithes in the world. You can do the works in men's eyes. But your judgment, your mercy, and your faith gotta be on point. Okay. So that's what the class is going into. Like, we gotta make sure that we judge in matters, that we move in merciful with one another, and that we have faith in the Most High Yah. Right? And we're not putting our faith in man or in a building or in a color on a t-shirt or anything like that. We're putting our faith in the Most High Yah, calling back his people. So, the scripture I'm looking for, Ecclesiastes 37 and 19. Ecclesiastes 37 verse 19.
Ecclesiastes, or Sirach. Sirach, chapter 37, verse 19. There is one that is wise,
right?
And teacheth me.
And do what?
Teacheth me.
So we're going into their brothers. They taught the right thing. They taught me. He said, Moshe said, follow that man. Read on.
And yet is unprofitable to himself.
He can't get himself to get right. Okay. So don't be surprised. You might be teaching a word and it coming out right. You're like, man, the Spirit is with me. That doesn't mean everything you're doing is right. You still have to be circumspect with yourself. Not because you're teaching a word and people con and they agree that you feel like, all right, I'm the man, I'm on the Spirit, brother. Like your sin is not seen. Your sin is even more seen now by the Most High. Most High like, look at this cat. Put my word in his mouth. And look what he's doing right now. He's going off. I'm going to roll on to that brother. Most High is coming after you. So just keep that in your mind, kid. That'll humble you down every time. Because you're like, man, even if you go out and you have a bomb service or camp and you teach and breaking out and worry about getting fed, right? You better make sure you got fed. That's why I said the husbandman got to be the first to receive of the fruit. Because you the husbandman and you ain't even eating from your own garden. You know what I mean? Other people eating and you starving.
Right.
You starving. Read that again.
37,
37:19.
Sirach chapter 37, verse 19.
Uh-huh.
There is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself.
Come on.
There is one that showeth wisdom in words,
Come on.
and is hated.
And is what?
And is hated.
Come on.
He shall be destitute of all food.
Right. You show wisdom of words, but people can't stand you because you're wicked as hell. But you got the great times. Right? It's amazing, but the Most High will, we see it in spirit, man. If brothers bear record to it, man, that's you. You got to repent real quick. Get it right. Get it right. Read on.
Verse 21. For grace is not given him from the Most High.
Right? Grace ain't given to you from the Most High. Because you know the word. You know better. You know ignorance. I'll give you all the breakdowns. You was cutting them up. They were shredded in front of you. Oh, it was a bloodbath. But you forgot to cut yourself. Grace ain't given to that, man. I'm going to kill that. Read.
Because he is the pride of all wisdom.
He's the pride of all wisdom. He's not eating himself. He's not receiving it himself. He's regurgitating. He's putting it out, but he's not consuming it. It's not coming apart of being a part of him. You know?
Another is wise to himself,
Uh-huh.
and the fruits of understanding are commendable in his mouth.
Right?
A wise man instructeth his people,
Right?
and the fruits of his understanding fail not.
Right?
A wise man shall be filled with blessing,
Right?
and all they that see him shall count him happy.
Right?
The days of the life of a man may be numbered,
Right?
but the days of Israel are unnumberable.
All right, that's it on that. So what? If you're wise, you're going to take fruit. You're going to receive it. You're going to teach yourself as you're teaching the people. You're going to follow your doctrine. All right, you're going to follow the doctrine the Most High is given to you, and you've been blessed to give the people. So that's all based in, what we're talking about tonight, having that communication, and just being, lowly to your brother, man. Meekness. We can't blow ourselves. We can't start thinking we all that. You know what I mean? It's very, scripture say knowledge pump it up. We always got to remember that. All right, Con? All right, go ahead.
All right, we're going to stay on the meekness, because I was going to touch on that meekness.
Con.
1 Peter 3:15.
Con.
Yes, because we got to get on that, because that's one of the things when you even teaching this word. Because at any given time, the Most High can get rid of you. If you're not being meek about what you're doing. If you get puffed up, 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 15. If you get all puffed up in the head, thinking that you all that, and not knowing that just because you're Israel don't make you Israel. He can turn these stones, that's the Mashiach said to the children of Israel, at any given time. The Most High can do what he want to do. He's the potter, we're the clay. Go ahead and get that from me.
1 Peter 3 and verse 15. But sanctify the other one, Yahweh, in your hearts.
That's the first step right there. Sanctify the Most High in your hearts. Keep going.
And be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear.
With what?
Meekness and fear.
Them two of the qualities you got to have. Because Mashiach told us, be the light to the world. So when a person walk up to you and ask you, how you act? Why are you like this? Don't get puffed up. Thinking that, look, it's all about me now. No, it's not. That was the first step. Put the Most High in your hearts. And then when you get ready to answer this person, do it with meekness and fear. That at any given time, the Most High can get rid of you. Don't be puffed up. And we're going to get, who out of all the people that's in the Bible, who is meek? Who y'all think was a meek man that they wrote about in the Bible? There you go. Who said Moses? Con. You got a scripture for me to let us know that?
Moses was humble.
Yeah.
You get Hebrews 11:24.
See what that say. You said Hebrews 11:24?
I said that he was faithful. You can look at it.
Yeah, that's all right, but
I don't know the scripture, but I think it was when his sister and somebody else came to him about the Ethiopian wife. And
we gonna get it. Numbers, 12 and 3. We're gonna deal with this meek spirit and what was some of the qualities of even having a meek spirit. Because we use the word meek, but what it is to be meek? What is a meek person?
humble person.
Now, if you look at the definition, they try to put them close together, but to be humble, and this is what's the word I want to use? This is how they broke it down in the dictionary dealing with meekness and humble. A humble person, if a person came up to him to interview him, a humble person will try to put it, oh, it wasn't me, it was a whole team, it was a collective. A meek person will say, the interviewer want to come out and ask him, he's like, oh, no, don't talk to me, talk to him. A meek person going to try to get out the way. No, talk to him about that. But let's read Numbers 12 and 3. And we're going to get the attributes, what Moses did, what made him a meek person. Go ahead.
Numbers 12, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Now the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth.
See that there? So scriptures let us know Moses was a meek man upon the face of the earth. Let's see what some of the attributes Moses did to make him meek. That breaks it down with that same definition. Exodus chapter 3, verse 10. So we're going back into the history of Israel, dealing with, because again, these men that the minister just brought out sat on Moses' seat, but they act like Moses. They gave the law, but some things they was missing. They ain't have that meek spirit on them. They wasn't meek towards their people. They even tried tripping Yahushua up by bringing the woman that was adulterer, but didn't bring the man. You know the law, you didn't even bring the man. And you said you caught her in the midst of the act. So where's the man that was dealing with her? This is how they tried. But go ahead, let's get it. Kept trying over and over, exactly. Exodus chapter 3, verse 10.
Exodus chapter 3, verse 10. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt.
Uh-huh.
And Moses said unto Yahweh, who am I that I should go unto Pharaoh?
Pause right there. Moses responded, who am I? He already made himself of no reputation, just like Yahushua did, made himself of no reputation. I'm going to put it all on the Father. But Moses kept doing this over and over, dealing with the scriptures. Finish that off.
And that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt. And he said, certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee, that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, ye shall serve Yahweh upon this mountain.
Now get Exodus 4 and 1. Let's see how Moses kept responding to the Most High. Every time Most High wanted to use him, Moses was like, no, I'm not good enough. But he chose us from the womb. So how can you tell the Most High no in a sense? You got to go do his will and still make no reputation of yourself. Let's get it, Exodus 4 and 1.
Exodus 4, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And Moses answered and said, but behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice. For they will say, the other one hath not appeared unto thee.
Uh-huh.
And the other one said unto him, what is that in thy hand? And he said, a rod.
Pause right there. So the Most High about to give him another tool. I already told you when you do this, I'm going to be with you. Okay, you ain't believe. Okay, now what's that in your hand? The rod. You want to use this rod, we should know the story. Turn the rod into a snake, and we know the snake ate up the other rods. Let's just get one more real quick. Verse 10.
Verse 10.
Uh-huh.
And Moses said unto the Most High, O my other one, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of a slow tongue.
Uh-huh.
And the Most High said unto him, who hath made man's mouth, or who maketh the dumb, or deaf, or the seeing, or the blind? Have not I the other one? Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say.
Done. Yeah, so if you keep reading, no, go read the next two verses real quick. Because the Most High is like the Most High telling them everything I'm gonna do for you. You complain and saying why you can't do it now. We like to give reasons why we can't do stuff. But when you talking with the Most High, there's no reasoning with it. But a lot of prophets and the men chosen by the Most High always tried the Most High. But let's see how the Most High responded, because he kept going in saying, oh, why me? Why me? Well, I can't do this thing. Read.
And he said, O my other one, send I pray thee, by the hand of him whom thou wilt send. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses.
Pause right there. Now, y'all think that the Most High is just going to get rid of Moses, but he's like, come on, man, I'm right here with you. Because Moses stayed saying, man, send somebody to hold my hand. I can't do it. I can't speak. They ain't going to believe me. I'm just Moses. But the Most High choose who he want to choose. He's going to use who he want to use when it comes to this work. That's why we can't get puffed up at any given time when we're doing this work. But some of our Akim get puffed up when they shouldn't be puffed up. So when we deal with our Akim in the street, and that person asking you for the hope that's in you, why you keep the commandments? Oh, don't you know who we are? You got to handle that with meekness, with the fear of the Most High in you, knowing that at any given time, he can get rid of you. We still a tool. He's the potter. You have finished it?
No, 14 verse 9.
Yeah, let's go ahead and finish it.
And the anger of the Most High was kindled against Moses. And he said, is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that he can speak well. And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee. And when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart.
Pause right there. So Aaron's going to come up. Moses is going to tell Aaron all this stuff. Aaron ain't going to bring up no excuses why he can't do it. Let's go do it, Moses. Most High done spoke. So this is what this work is about. We would bring Jacob back, but we got to be meek when we're doing it. It's good to try to, as we like to say, cut them up. But that can't be our whole objective, is to cut a brother up. We know we got to cash down these imaginations in their mind. But as the captain like to say, if you got a cup that's pretty much full and you trying to pour something in there of this knowledge, yeah, we got to empty some of that stuff out. That's a given. But you got to take it slow with them sometimes, because everybody ain't at the same capacity of thinking and learning. Plus, the Most High made their eyes blind to begin with. I think it was you or the captain or the priest that said it's a spark. That when we talking to them, all we need is that spark. If you say it the right way to them, that spark uniting them. That's it. One planteth, another man water. The Most High going to get the increase. So why make yourself of any reputation dealing with these scriptures? Puffing yourself up like the scripture we just went over in Matthew. Trying to make yourself like I'm the man now. No, you're not. Answer these people with meekness in your heart. And again, I gotta work on this myself, because I'm quick to call somebody a simpleton. But that's online though. And dealing with people online, if a person can't understand the Bible when they read it, how are you gonna understand when you type it? Typing the deaf ears. They don't understand nothing. Communicating mouth to mouth, face to face is a better communication. So they can see the reaction and be patient with your brother. Let's get more on that in where we're gonna go to. 1 Peter 4:11. Go back to Peter's. Dealing with these scriptures, again, we gotta let the Most High speak for us. We can't be going off our own interpretation, saying our own words. Our words are vain sometimes. And you can arouse the spirit in the person. You could have had a brother, but you said something that's not in the Bible, you done lost that brother. Just that quick. And you done sat out there for 2-3 hours talking to him. Go ahead. 10. We can start with 10.
All right. 1 Peter 4 verse 10. As every man hath received the gift, even so minister the same one to another.
That's pause. Each one teach one. That's what that's saying. Just how somebody gave you that gift, give somebody that gift. Each one teach one. Go ahead.
As good stewards of the manifold grace of Yahweh.
Because at any given time, the Most High don't have to use you. It's a great thing right now. It's a beautiful thing that the Most High even woke you up. That's why we praise the Most High to be woken up in these last days. To know who we are. To have our heritage back. Go ahead.
If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Yahweh.
Uh-huh.
If any man minister, let him do it as the ability which Yahweh giveth.
Pause. Just how Moses thought he didn't have the ability. But the Most High gave him ability. The minister, how the Most High wanted him to minister. Do exactly what I tell you to do. You ain't going to falter at all. This is the blueprint. Basic instructions before leaving earth. Or best instructions before leaving earth. You can't go wrong when you follow what the Most High tells you to do. Go ahead.
That Yahweh in all things may be glorified.
That who?
That Yahweh in all things may be glorified.
It didn't say glorify yourself. But we got brothers out there that like to glorify themselves. It's another thing of another brother glorify you, but that's a whole different level. But to glorify yourself, that don't make sense. Because there's brothers that get caught up. And there's some brothers I know that are going to say it in this truth. Man, you got to put yourself on a pedestal. What? What? And they gone right now. Because they want to put themselves on the pedestal. You can't even handle your own bills, but yet you want to put yourself on a pedestal. For what?
Yeah, high priest.
Yeah. Yeah, want to be a high, everybody want to be a high priest for some odd reason. But not knowing that seed is hard to fulfill. Come on. I got that.
No, it's Sirach 3:18.
I'm gonna get to that. Yeah, let's get it now. Let's get it now. No, let's finish it, and then we'll go back and get what he just called that. I think I got that marked down too. Go ahead.
In all things, wait,
Start at the top.
that Yahweh in all things may be glorified through Yahweh Shai,
All right.
to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
So that's who our praise is for. That one master. That's the true out of one. That's who we're going to give our praise to. Nobody else. Oh, I thought you want to say something. But what you call that? Ecclesiastes?
Sirach 10 verse 12 and Sirach 3 verse 18 to 20.
10 and 12.
When we talk about the pride.
Yeah, done. We can get that. Because we also brought that out in the other Ecclesiastes, dealing with the pride of a man. Most High going to bring it down when you deal with pride. But the meekness and the lowly man, he's going to lift up. You got it?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Sirach 10 verse 12.
The
The beginning of pride is when one departeth from Yahweh.
Ooh, go ahead.
And his heart is turned away from his maker. For pride is the beginning of sin,
Done.
and he that hath it shall pour out abominations.
So everything you do, everything you touch is going to start becoming abominable. You're going to think you're on the right track, but you're going to pride yourself up so much, you don't even keep no high holy days no more. The high holy day is supposed to be kept as a convocation with other brothers. Who are you gathering with now? How can you be keeping the laws if you're gathering by yourself? Just you and your supposed to be real or wife and kids. That's it. It's just us. Nobody else out there in the world that knows this truth. So I'm gonna just stick here by myself because they don't want to esteem me and put me on the pedestal. Come on, that don't even make sense. Go
No, I
ahead.
saw something. These brothers are, I guess, against camps.
Yeah.
Something I stumbled upon. I didn't know this whole against camp movement was like this.
Yes, it's heavy indeed.
And I really kind of try to see their point, but they have no point. It's just something to be against. It's again being prideful, because whether you're in a camp or not, what difference does it make? Well, how could you even make songs against being in the camp, like being in the camp is a bad thing? Since when being in a school is a bad thing? Didn't you go to school when you was a child?
Then when you hit 5 years old, you're in the kindergarten.
Done.
So why is it okay for you to go to Esau school, but it's not okay to go to a school to learn the ways of the Most High God? I was lost on that. Unless I'm missing something in the breakdown, all right? Because these brothers is going hard against brothers that's in camps.
There is no breakdown.
Now, just to bring some history, some understanding, you know, that whole camp terminology was not what it was in the beginning, okay? Probably that somebody has been around for a little while. We had schools, and the schools had camps. You understand that? Now they call the schools camps, which is confusion, because we had schools, right? And you went to your school, and in the midst of your school, they had brothers that wanted to join the camp, because the camp went out and taught the word on the streets. We didn't have YouTube back then, right? We didn't have all these internet and all this stuff, right? We had to go out as a camp, as a group that left the school, saying we're going to set up camp somewhere. We're going to position ourselves, pitch our, sometimes we would actually bring out our gazebo or whatever tent and put our tables out, and we would teach. We put our signs out, and we would teach. That was camp. So even calling schools camps, I think that might be confusing them with this younger generation.
Exactly.
They're not camps, they're schools. You go there to learn. You sit in class, you learn from someone that did their due diligence, they learned under someone, right? Who learned under someone, who learned under someone, right? And they passed the knowledge on because they were diligent in study, and they sought it right, or the people sought it right for them to pass this word to others. So they ended up doing that. You going to tell me there's something wrong with school? I'm confused. So I sought to even reach out to one of these camp brothers that have an issue with camps to understand what is the problem.
But just like you just said, and we just read that in 1 Peter's 4:10.
Right.
Minister one, teach one.
Right.
That's it. That's the same thing. Ain't nothing different. But again, since this word is going out so fast and so swift, and we call them popcorn Israelite now, so I know everything now. But you just got it here. How do you know anything really?
And they're so quick to kick against the elders of what was taught. You're following the doctrine from when. Listen, the fact that you know you're an Israelite, that was passed down from the elders, right? Right or wrong? So then, how can you call yourself an Israelite and say you don't want to follow none of the elders? You must be. What are you now?
And they use all the information that your elders use.
Right.
You ain't come out with no new information. You Googling all your information. You don't even get a library card or get a book.
Everything on Google, man. Put it on there.
Google
Everything you
babies.
got there. Huh? Okay.
So just a quick question, like for some, I talked to a couple of people like that was dealing with the truth, and one of the reasons that they kind of like against camps is because they were with a school that kind of like, from my perspective, the doctrine was off.
Right.
It puts a bitter taste in the mouth. So how do you really convince somebody like, okay, all Israelite schools not like that? Because I was talking to one girl, and some of the things that they were requiring her to do, it was just like, that's nowhere in the scripture. The doctrine was off.
Right.
And now she has like a bitter taste in her mouth.
Right,
It's like all Israelite schools.
Right. And sometimes it's that you gotta look at that person and say, man, because you churchified. You were looking for church. That was a problem. You were looking for the pastor. Right? We teach precept upon precept. So you can read it for yourself. If I come here and start teaching something that's not precept, I would hope one of you say, brother, with all due respect, you going off. Right? Because I'm teaching my own belly. I don't have no precepts to back up what I'm saying. So they say, listen, and then if I give you precept and you go study the precept and you say, wait a minute, it ain't adding up, you bring it back to me. I should be humble enough to say, brother, I see what you're going with that. Right? But if you want to just sit back and everything is fed to you, which a lot of Israelites want to do, they want to just go there and just be fed everything.
They don't want to do their due diligence. They don't want to study on their own, right? They don't want to build up themselves, or they want to blame the teacher, right? The teacher is teaching, hopefully they're teaching as they were taught, or they're teaching as they understand. If your understanding surpasses the teacher's understanding, share that with your teacher. They should be able to sit and listen to you. If they meet, if they humble, you know what I mean? If they just shut you down and you don't give you no response, and that's, well, you know what you got to do, you step, right? Or you just humble up and say, all right, well, we don't agree on that point, but I'm still here with my brother and my sister. You can dwell amongst the camp. You may not agree with everything that's being brought out, right? But it's about you getting with the brother. Do you agree with keeping the Sabbath? Do you agree with, brothers coming together? You got to concentrate on the things that we do have in common. That's what community is all about. Community is a conjunction word?
Conjunction.
Is that a word? Conjunction word?
Together.
Right? It's two
Together.
words put together, community, right? Common unity.
Oh, compound word too.
Compound word?
Yeah.
Compound word. Right? I've been out of school for a little while. Common unity, right? Brought together, you get community. Okay? There's things that we have in common, so we unify on the things that we have in common. There might be some things we don't have in common. That doesn't stop the unity. Unless you're so far different than me. Right? We don't have enough common to come together. Right? We don't have enough common to come together, well, so be it. You know what I mean? But if we all call ourselves Israelites, we all keep the Torah, we all looking to the same book, we should have some common unity. Right? So, okay.
Now, what you're saying, that you should already know what scripture I should be going through. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. So when that person even brought out a document, they won't, and she's like, prove that. 1 Thessalonians 5:21 says, prove all things. Hold fast to that which is good. Rightly divide the word of truth. So, but a lot of people still can put out scriptures and sound convincing, but then that's where the other scripture come in that says, study to show thyself approved. So man, that's another thing. Our sisters got to study just as well as men. And that's why I wish they was here, because a lot of sisters like, hey, they trying to find scriptures, but crack open that book.
The scriptures they say they don't learn anything to learn for their husband. Right?
Yeah.
So they got to study. They got to learn. Right? If they have a husband, their husband's supposed to edify them and bring you up on a level. If they don't have a husband, they're supposed to ask questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And get the answers that they need. It's on them, though. You know what I mean? It's on you to learn. Just like when you went to school, after you come out of high school, they ain't school for you anymore. You went to college, you know the deal. You gotta go find that information. They point you in the direction and say, yeah, go ahead. And come back with the right answer. They don't just stand and ask and spoon feed you like you did in elementary school.
Exactly.
You gotta bring yourself up to the next level. Right? You go to college, man, shoot. The professors, they're lucky they tell you what the hell the class is about. They can hand you a book and go, yo, yeah, do that. And have it to me by Friday. You're like, but people that never been to higher learning and higher education won't even understand that. But that's how this truth is. Right? Once I gave us the Bible and say, yo, go find that. And we come together like study groups. You try to find somebody to study. The college, feeding to find somebody smart, right? Yo, that cat looks smart. Yo, you smart, huh? Because you try to get some answer from somewhere.
Exactly.
You realize, I wasn't the brightest candle in school. I leaned on brothers. You know what I'm saying? When you find me a more bright that knows something.
I am sharp as
I
iron.
leaned on that doing y'all. I think to play these spades to get my homework done. But that was back in the days. But the reality of it, we had to find it. It was all unified. And higher education is done that way. This is the highest education on the earth. There's no higher knowledge than this knowledge. So you got to go fishing, man. You got to go find things. All right? You can't just lay back and sit back and think everything's going to be spoon-fed to you. Okay?
Oh, man. Ecclesiastes or Sirach, chapter 6, verse 35. So we can touch right on that, dealing with finding this knowledge out.
6 verse 5.
6:35 in the Sirach. We got the Red Apocrypha, this is page 74.
Sirach, chapter 6, verse 35. Be willing to hear every godly discourse.
So when a person is even discussing the Bible, mouths closed, ears open. You supposed to be willing to hear that thing right there, because the word of the Most High coming out. Keep going.
And let not the parables of understanding escape thee.
So when they get in the understanding on some of the parables, when we sit in class and we go over this stuff, don't let that stuff escape you. You supposed to be like, oh, what he said? Repeat that? What? Huh? You supposed to be taking this in, soaking it up. So when you home by yourself, you can do your own due diligence, studying, picking the scriptures up, looking at everything around you, dealing with what the Most High don't put in front of you, and weighing all the matters. Keep going.
And if thou seest a man of understanding, getteth thee betimes unto him.
Do what?
Getteth thee betimes unto him.
And
let thy foot wear the steps of his door.
What does that mean? What y'all think that means right there? Huh?
Stay with them.
Stalk that dude.
So the Bible ain't gonna lead you nowhere wrong.
Prophet stalker.
The Most High got everything right here for you. So when you get this understanding, you see it, you gonna be like, wait, what? Huh? Oh no, let me sit up under that. That was nice right there. But at the same time, you can't trust in man like that. And that person that's teaching you, and we don't went over that already, that person should not be puffing himself up. He supposed to be doing this stuff in meekness and fear of the Most High, because you asking him for the reason of the hope that's in him. And he giving you the understanding of the parables written through these scriptures. Does God love everybody? And you can read the scriptures, say, well, no. It says it ain't so. Wait a minute. But Christians don't like to pick up that Bible. They just sit down and listen to the man that's in the pulpit. They think that's easier, but it ain't.
I think it's easier for them to feel as if they
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, but that's how you fail the race. That's how you fail at the end.
What he calls a wicked and slothful servant.
Like,
Slothful.
That's the Lord I say, thou wicked and slothful servant. You want somebody else to do all the work. You don't want to do no work. You want to sit back and have it just like the music to your ears. Well, who are you? Didn't that person that teach you have to study? So why you think you don't got to study?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
When did we become your servant? We were all serving the Most High. We're not your servant. We're serving the Father.
Right.
We give each other the word that we all go to the Most High and show our due diligence. Right? We all got to do it.
It's going there? Yeah.
Yes,
Lord. Yeah.
Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Most High.
Now, what's the ordinances of the Most High? There you go. Keep going.
And meditate continually in his commandments.
Continually. That means you shouldn't even have a break. If you break it, it's better be to go to sleep. And even still then, the Most High still dealing with you. Because that's what he taught. They talk to men in their dreams. And if you always live his word, hey, you understand this word day in and day out. I tell people, put fringes on your pajamas. So you can sleep in Christ. So, hey, I'm serious. But go ahead, keep going.
He shall establish thine heart and give thee wisdom at thy own desire.
At your own desire, he's going to give you this wisdom. And we know what is wisdom again. I got to improvise, or keep not improvise, but what's the word I'm looking for? Keep telling you. Keep asking, what is wisdom? Huh? Go ahead. No, but what is wisdom? That's the knowledge. Go ahead, Yakinan.
Proper application of knowledge.
There you go. And this is what we're going over. Proper application of the knowledge. Dealing with when you're speaking to a brother, when somebody asks you for the hope that's in you, this is the knowledge. Now you must use wisdom in delivering it. Knowing that when you using this knowledge, the wisdom in it, come.
I got Sirach 1:26 and 27.
Let's see. Yeah, we can get that real quick because that deals with the oracles standing with the Most High.
Sirach chapter 1, verse 26. If thou desire wisdom, keep the commandments, and the other one shall give her unto thee.
Pause right there. Now, it's again, we just went over that earlier in the New Testament dealing with when Mashiach was talking to the scribes and Pharisees. Do as they say, don't do as they do. Because they had the commandments, but were they applying them? They wasn't using wisdom. And that's what the ending verse was when we stopped at 23, Matthew 23 and 23. That's why he kept telling them, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees. Woe unto you. He repeated himself a lot of times. It should get in the person's head like, hey man, wait a minute. I need to really check myself on what I'm doing. And that's all of us. The scripture is supposed to check ourselves, me included. And that goes for everybody when they come into this truth. You can know the commandments, but if you're not applying them and doing them, eat, living, and breathing continually in it. So when a person look at your light, and we know what the light is, what's the light?
The law.
Everything resorts right back to the law. But we got to apply the law. We can't just teach the law. We also got to be within the laws. So we can hold ourselves guiltless when we come before the throne seat. Knowing that when we did our race, we done did what we had to do. And that's up to the Most High to give us that crown. Be happy to see the day that Mashiach sit on his throne. Let's get some more dealing with on that.
Right, just understand the wisdom, man.
Yeah.
Wisdom is a spirit. Right? Not commandments are written. Right here. Right? Written in English, you get it in Spanish, French. Wisdom is a spirit. Wisdom is what allows you to now go to the commandments and apply them. You need wisdom to apply the commandments. Okay? If you lack wisdom, you can have all the commandments. Right? So you have to understand that's different. The scriptures talk about commandments, statutes, ordinances, wisdom. These are all different. And you need to really kind of study on this and see the difference. Because ordinances is order. All the orders that the Most High set up. You got to know the orders of the Heavenly Father. Because everything has an order. The sun got an order, the moon got an order, we got order, our family should be in order. There's so much order with the Father. That's what ordinance is. That you remember the order. Ordinances are orders. Everybody understand that? Things arrayed in their proper category. One after the other, after the next, that's the orders. Commandments is thou shalt not. Right? Statutes is if thou did this, then this will happen. If thou did that, then this happened. That's what statutes are, right? You have the Lord and you have the statutes are different. So you have to understand all this makes up. The word Torah means what? No, it doesn't mean law. What does it mean? Instruction. The law is part of the instruction. The statutes, the orders, the commandments is all part of the instruction. But you can only follow the instruction if you have wisdom. Wisdom is a spirit. So what it's telling you here in Sirach is go to the commandments, start keeping those. And what's going to be given to you? Wisdom. As you start keeping the commandments, the light's going to turn on. And now you're going to have the spirit of wisdom is going to be brought to you. Wisdom, Solomon prayed for wisdom. Right? Because he understood, he had the commandments. He had the law. He had the books of Moses. But he prayed for wisdom. When you read Sirach, when you read Proverbs, you're reading wisdom of the commandments. You're reading what the commandments manifest. Everybody understand that? Without the commandments, you wouldn't get this instruction. You wouldn't get this wise instruction. that's based on wisdom. Okay, so understand that wisdom is a separate entity that's given to you. Right? You cannot really just pick it up somewhere. You have to apply it. When you apply it, then you have it. Okay. So that's what Sirach is telling you here in these verses. Right? To desire wisdom, you must keep the commandments. Right? You can't have one without the other. All right. So we'll continue.
5 and 12. Wait, no. We're gonna go ahead.
Okay.
No, we're gonna go ahead and hit the ordinances real quick. Order. 1 Corinthians 14 and 40.
Okay.
So let's get that order real quick. Just to note that some people think that the Apocrypha has nothing to do with the Bible. But it's still telling you the same thing, even in the New Testament. Let everything, well, let's get it real quick. Let's read it. 1 Corinthians 14 and 40.
First Corinthians 14, verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Everything got to be done decently in order. Because what the minister just touched on was powerful. I'm glad he touched on it. Because a lot of people say law, statutes, and commandments, but a lot of them don't realize that, yes, each of them are separate. Every one of them is separate. The laws is set, the statutes, and we got that even in this government. In America's government, they got different statutes and ordinances and what's the other one? The CPR. I forget, not CPR. CRA. It's one of those other ones that law is derived from. And when you go take the bar exam, they have to know these ordinances dealing with some of the laws. So I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people that say laws and that's cut it off there, but it all derives around that Torah, and the captain brought it out. What Torah is again? What does Torah mean? These are the instructions, basic instructions before leaving earth, or best instructions before leaving earth. There's no coincidences like that. Not a man. Most High don't make no mistake when he do what he do. Hashatan try to trip it up and use other his methods to try to confuse the people. But when the Most High open your eyes, you can't be stopped. But you still got to do it in meekness and the fear of the Most High when you do these things and when you move it.
You can even apply it. Let's see if you understand. Let's apply it, right?
All right.
We'll give an instance. We'll say fornication, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's the law on fornication? Give me a law. Give me a law. Huh?
Any fornication?
Any kind of fornication.
Exodus 22.
And it says 22:16 says what? That's not a law of fornication, that's a law of marriage. But that's going to come up. Law of fornication. Give me a fornication law. Thou shalt not commit adultery. I'll help you out, right? Adultery is fornication, right? Is that not a law? Thou shalt not commit adultery. That's a command, right? That is a law, right? What's the statute of that law? What is the statute of the law state? What does the statute of that law state? That if a man, what?
Leviticus 20, verse 10.
What does it say?
It says, and the man that committed adultery with another man's wife,
Right?
even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife,
Right?
the adulterer and the adulteress,
Right?
shall surely be put to death.
That is the statute. That if you go commit adultery, that man and that woman is to be put to death. That's the statute. Okay? Now what's the wisdom? I'm the one spoken with wisdom. What's the wisdom on this? Do what then? You just said.
That would be your wife.
They do what?
That would be your wife.
Gotta be a wife, but what's the wisdom? Get a what?
Get a wife. Because if you get a wife, right, the wisdom will prevent you from what? Fornication. What is that? 1 Corinthians 7th chapter.
Yeah, I was trying to go deep.
That's the wisdom of the Lord. The Lord said, don't commit fornication. Don't be an adulteress. Get a wife. Therefore, you won't go this route. It's not complicated, right? You want to live free and single? You want to live a single life? You go commit fornication. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Because you don't follow what you're reading. That's how you have to understand. It all connects together. So, man, well, how can I do that? Well, you do this. Scripture's right there telling you how not to break the law, which won't make you end up in the statute. It's the wisdom. How do I stay out of that? Well, take a wife, right?
So is fornication just a sexually immoral act? Like
Right.
overall?
Any sexual moral, homosexuality, fornication, buying prostitutes is fornication, right? Pornography is fornication. We go down the line, right? So get a wife, right?
That you be not burned.
That you burn. And if you and if you got that kind of spirit on you and it doesn't suffice, get another one. But don't be out there fornicating, right?
All right.
Okay.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 2. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication,
To avoid fornication,
let every man
every man,
have his own wife,
right,
and let every woman have her own husband.
right, to avoid fornication, right? That is wisdom, right? Everybody see that? So now you see, you can do that for stealing, right? Solomon told us the best, don't give me poverty, right? Don't give me riches. If you give me poverty, I might steal. I might break your command. Wisdom, it says, be what? Be content.
What you have?
Give me what I have that I think that I can be what? Content. Therefore, I'm not trying to be rich. I'm not trying, nothing here is gonna what cause me to break the law, cause me to steal. So there's wisdom, there's ordinances, right? Now you go into the order of getting a wife, right? Right? You gotta, you gotta make sure the woman is single. You gotta know the father, right? You gotta get a certificate of marriage. You gotta do all the things. These are the ordinances of getting a wife.
The order.
Right? The orders. How do we get a wife now? You gotta go see the father. You gotta, right? These are the orders now. So you can break everything down that way. This is when you see the whole picture. Now you understand why you gotta piece the scriptures together. Because it gives you laws someplace, ordinance someplace, wisdom on it. You know what I mean? It's all based on Yah's commands. But you have to put it together. Everybody understand that? All right, so that is why it's crucial when we study that we put things in its whole entirety. That's why we precept. All right, we don't just precept to shut people down. We precept to give the whole understanding of something. A lot of our people, they don't understand the law. So they pull a law. What they can run to? Eye for an eye. You believe that? What is the wisdom behind that? Where's the ordinance of it? Where's everything else that goes with that? Eye for an eye. Where does it apply to? You can't just pull a scripture and you have nothing else. Yeah? John 3:16. Where's the wisdom on it? Right? Right? So that's what we have to, that's why we precept. That's why it's line upon line, here a little, there a little. You have to put these things in a complete thought.
Let's just get it, just to clarify it even more. I'm gonna read it for you.
What's it gonna do?
Isaiah 28:10.
Okay.
Dealing with the precept. Isaiah chapter 28, verse 10. No, I'm starting at 9. 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Right? They that are weaned from the milk, like a baby, first starts on the milk, and then they get too old for the milk. When they get older and the milk nourishes them fully, they can now start receiving what? Meat. Right?
and other kinds of foods. Read on.
And drawn from the breast.
And drawn from the breast, meaning that you started with the milk. You started with the law, with the commandments. You start there, and then you build upon that. All right. What's the sincere milk?
No, 1 Peter 2:2.
What is that?
It says, as newborn babes,
Right.
desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're trying to say.
Yes, sincere milk. Right.
All right.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 10. For precept must be upon precept.
Right. So it's breaking it down. So letting you know, okay. Now you understand you gotta be weaned from the milk, drawn from the breast. Means you gotta have that sincere milk in you. Because why do you have to have the sincere milk? Because you gotta be able to put precept upon precept. If you don't get the sincere milk, you won't be able to put precept upon precept. That's why when people come to you with the Bible that have not received the sincere milk, they don't understand what we're doing when we put in the Bible. What do you do? Why are you putting precepts here and a verse there? Because they didn't come from the sincere milk. They came from an emotional connection to the Bible, or they went to church because their parents made them go, or whatever the case may be. They didn't land on the foundation of the scripture. Therefore, they're not building scripture to get understanding. Read on.
Precept upon precept.
Right?
Line upon line.
Come on.
Line upon line.
Read.
Here a little and there a little.
Come on.
For with stammering lips.
Right?
And another tongue.
Right? No matter what language we speak in, Spanish, French, English, because this word was first delivered in Hebrew. And we speak in stammering lips and other tongues, you know.
Will he speak to this people?
That's how he speaks to us. That's how he instructs us. But we gotta come from the sincere milk. We gotta come from the law and come up from there, right?
Book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 104.
Oh, yeah, 104 and 105. Yeah, I had it written that down.
Okay.
104. Yeah, I know it's one.
Psalms chapter 118, verse 104. Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way.
Right. Therefore I hate every false way. All right. So what's a false way? A way that is void of precepts. When people say things and have no precept, right? You're gonna hate that. Whatever was said. Oh, you know you shouldn't be doing that. But what's your precept? If somebody try to give you instruction with no precept, you be mad as hell. You be like, what? Where does it say that in the scriptures? Right? Because why? You hate every false way. Right? You're supposed to hate every false way. If there's no precept that instruct you in that matter, why are you doing this? Right? So when you read the scriptures, you slow down and read the scriptures, you see that everything is built on each other. It's categories, there's many categories within the Bible. Right? As you have to group things in and put them in the right category, then you can understand it on a even higher level. The Most High's word is manifold, so when we study, we precept upon precept, and we put them together, you put it together to give somebody a full, well-rounded understanding on a topic. So there's no way of going around it or trying to find new holes in it or whatever the case may be. Every topic in the Bible can be done this way, right? You can find the law, the statute, the ordinance, and the wisdom on that law. Several times over. Not just once. You can find it several times over. Right? All right, read. What you got?
Jude 1 and 3.
Jude 1 and 3.
All right. Those got to go ahead and go into some more on this. Because again, the topic is conversating when we discuss this Bible. Everybody ain't going to have the understanding you have. You're going to be going over these scriptures for the rest of your life. If you stay in this truth, stay in this faith, this is a race to the end. And it ain't to the swift. Patience possesses your souls dealing with this. Go ahead.
Jude 1 verse 3. Behold, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints.
So that word contend. He wants us to fight for the faith, but it's a certain way you fight. We don't have to chop our brother down all the time. You got to understand the spirit you're dealing with when you're teaching that brother. Because you might be in a group setting, and it might be 4 of us, 4 of them. Stuff, even in that setting, got to be done decently in order. Everybody just can't talk. There's going to be all out of order now. Confusion creeps in. Hashatan like that. But the ones, us, especially, that know this truth, should know how to conduct ourselves when dealing with this word. We can't expect them to know how to conduct themselves. We have to go into it knowing that they don't know everything we just broke down today. They got to understand that precept must be upon precept. So there's certain scriptures we got to let them know about before they even dive into these scriptures. Because they'll feel that, they believing on what they pastor and taught them. So when you go and show them a scripture, they want to go with the understanding that their pastor gave them. Not knowing the pastor only spoke his emotions up there the whole time. And then when you ask them, well, show me these words in the Bible. I'm asking for specific words. The Bible got these specific words in it. But yet they can't find it. They're going to say, what you're saying is wrong, even though I showed you specific words. I'm going to give you an example. We were generals with some pastors, and we talked to them. Now, it got to a point where I asked them the question, how many gates there is into heaven? And they just looked at me with a puzzled look, like, and they had the nerve to say 2. One to heaven and one to hell. I said, wait a minute. Ask you a specific question. How many gates to heaven? I ain't asked nothing about hell. So with just that little understanding, they couldn't even comprehend what I asked them.
No precepts.
No precepts. They just told me to, and I said, well, could you show, when they said to, could you show me a scripture on that? And I would like to read 2 gates to heaven, but then when I made sure they understood what they just said, oh, okay, it's 1 gate. Okay, now you're saying it's 1 gate, okay. Then you turn the gate into a door. I'm like, come on, man. It was a trip because they just kept changing. I said, well, since you don't know, I'm going to just show you real quick. And I read it in Revelation, showing there's 12 gates, 12 angels, and the names written on these gates. It was specific. In a sense, there's no need for a breakdown, but I can give you the breakdown on it, because they asked, well, who are the 12 tribes of Israel?
Wow, man.
So it puzzled me a little. Like, you a pastor? But see, I can understand because they start at Matthew and start reading the book. They don't start at Genesis and start reading the book. Huh?
No milk in those cookies.
No milk. And he just brought it out even in the New Testament. The desire, the sincere milk. So they try to touch on the New Testament and they kept saying, well, the Old Testament has been filled by Christ. There's no need for, wait a minute. But I asked you a specific question. The scripture they gave me had never used the word door, gate, or heaven. But he tried to tell me that's what it meant. Now, after talking with the general more, he was reading the commentary at the bottom of the page. So this way he got his understanding from the commentary. So he didn't even read the verse. You read the come on, man. Come on. So this is, in dealing with people, this is not just them. When we on Facebook and we try to type back and forth with these people, you gotta understand, if they can't understand or comprehend the Bible that's right there in front of them, how can they comprehend anything you just typed up on the screen? And people like to say, what you getting mad for? How you going mad? Because I'm typing words. Oh, you made it large, you're yelling. Where you get this? See, the new generation trips me out. Because when they say you type large, no, I just can't see. So I need to see the words. That's the only reason why. I might use large letters, but they say you're yelling. Or to put an emphasis on a certain word. You see this word right here? You use the little fingers to try to point out the word. You missed this word. is wilder. But we need to try to get away from that. Because it ain't nothing wrong with it. If you really desire this word and you really about this word, there should be no reason why we can't talk to each other on the phone or go see each other face to face. These laptops and computers and phones, we done got disconnected with the word and just start looking down and no. And even looking at this cell phone and TV, we say it all the time. There's 200 stations and not one of them saying nothing about no law, statutes, and commandments. And we just read a scripture that said, be in it continually. So how do you do something continually when the TV ain't even showing you that? They're just showing you all the devices of Hashatan. That's it. So we got to get back into really trying to deal with our brothers when it comes to these scriptures and really try to be patient with them. And again, myself, I got to work on that. But when I'm face to face with a person, I'm calm now. But over it, I don't want to deal with you. Hey, I'm gonna just use this real scripture real quick. You done it, Jude?
Well, the next verse shows what we contend with.
Go ahead.
Jude 1 verse 4.
Uh-huh.
For there are certain men crept in unawares,
Uh-huh.
who were before of old ordained to this condemnation. Ungodly men, turning the grace of Yahweh into lasciviousness,
Using it for trickery.
and denying the only other one, Yahweh,
Uh-huh.
and our other one, Yahweh Shai. So when it says we got to contend, we got to contend with those that crept in unawares, right? We always say that not all Jacob is Israel.
Yep.
And there's some that crept in unawares, right? There's some that have evil intention. If we're pure on the word, they're going to stand up like a sword thumb. And you'll be able to deal with it real quickly, right? Don't be dismayed by their visage, their facial, because they've been ordained from the beginning to be wicked. That's another scripture that shows that spirits come back and they come back and they come back. Because the same one ordained from old ordained to the condemnation. Meaning that these spirits, they're made to be wicked. So every time you deal with them, guess what they're going to be? Because they're always going to be wicked. They ain't going to never be right. There's certain spirits you cannot change. You ever understand that? Right? The potter, right, has power over the clay. But when they created spirits, he created righteous spirits, and he also created wicked spirits. And those wicked spirits were wicked from the beginning. Okay? All right? So that understanding here, even as you read down, some people misinterpret verse 5 and verse 6. They it's talking about some angels that did something that it's talking about them same wicked spirits that dwell in man. They were wicked from the beginning. They were wicked when he flooded them out. Those same spirits keep coming back until the day of the lake of fire. Right? And that's when those things will be destroyed. Until then, they still come back. They come back to do wickedness. Right? There's no new thing under the sun. Okay, so this chapter here in Jude, it would take us someplace else, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. This is a good understanding I have.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was about to just clarify that. So, but precept, man, where it said,
wicked strength from the womb.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had it, but I looked at that earlier too.
Oh, it's strange from the womb?
Yeah. Just to let us know that we're just not speaking from our vain words. Opinions. It's written in the scriptures that I'm gonna read it for you. You said 55 and
58,
58 and 3. All right. But watch. Psalms chapter 58, verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Right.
They go astray as soon as they be born.
As soon as they born wicked. I always bring that scripture out, and people got a problem with that. People really got a problem with that spirit, right? And some is just evil, man. It's evil people on the earth, man. There's nothing you can do about it.
No.
Everybody is not going to be able to serve the Most High God. He has a selective few. There's more evil on the earth than there's good. There's more darkness than light. Right? This is not, like people say, oh, people are not born this way. They learn this. No. They were born that way. All right? He's a devil and he was born the devil. When he was baby, he was a little baby devil, and then he grew up to an adolescent devil, and then when he was a teenager, he was a teenage devil, and he grew up to be a grown-ass devil. And he's going to always an old-ass devil. Well, I don't understand what's the disconnect with people with this thing. But you saw in the scripture, they say, oh no. The Lord can call him. The Lord already called him. He called him the devil. He already called him. Right? But these are concepts what unlearned people in these scriptures cannot grasp. All right? They cannot grasp these things. They're strained from the womb. We just read in Jude that they were the same spirits from old condemned spirits that come back. Jude is telling you it's the same condemned spirits that you're contending against. You're fighting against the same demons. They were always a demon. So don't bust your head sometimes. That's the way you beating ourselves up. You crept in unawares. You didn't realize you was dealing with a demon. You found out though. Or you find out, you gotta go down. You gotta accept it what it is. Right? You gotta accept it for what it is. Damn, you know what it's a demon. After a while, you gotta say, it's a demon.
Can I get a precept for that real quick?
Okay.
Hold on. Because we might, I don't know, I can probably see it from there. Let's see.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 7. Read down to 9.
Okay.
Well, you got something.
Go from the presence of a foolish man when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge.
Right. When you decide, you know what? This ain't going nowhere. Right? I'm trying to show him something so simple and plain, but this guy's just hell bent to be wicked. Right?
The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way.
Right?
But the folly of fools is deceit.
Mm-hmm.
Fools make a mock at sin, but among the righteous there is favor.
Right. So you might teach somebody and they might be struggling with the understanding, but they're not mocking the sin. They're saying, well, I don't get it, or I'm trying to get it. You can deal with that person. Because you see that it's not that they're like, you know what I mean? They're not trying to clown the word of the Most High.
Exactly.
It's just not reached them yet. They're not been called yet. So you keep that person there. You keep, feeding that person to the day that they wake up. But that person that want to sit there and act like this is a joke, we got a joke for you, right? Right? If you think this is a joke, you're clowning right now, right? So read on.
Okay. Verse 10. The heart knoweth his own bitterness,
right?
And a stranger does not intermediately with his joy. The house of the wicked shall be overthrown.
Shall be what?
Overthrown.
The house of the wicked gonna be overthrown. So you want to stay with your wickedness on? We got something for you, right? Proverbs 13:13. Now we get down, right? Read on. Go get it.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you can write it down. Those at home, write it down. Proverbs 13:13. When the conversation is over, you ain't going nowhere with this person, right? Read on.
But the tabernacle of the upright.
But the tabernacle of what?
The upright.
But the house of the upright, read on,
shall flourish.
That's it. So you can't really worry about it. If you want to be, somebody want to be wicked, they want to stay wicked, you know what? You find out. Right? We will try to teach you. If you're going to mock the words of the Most High, you think this is a joke? You think we're clowning? You think this is some sort of playtime? All right, you'll see. But those of us that struggle, that really want to know, they might be caught up in Christianity. They might, because they've been taught, because our people is full of zeal.
None.
So when they go to these churches with that zeal, that thing is sold in their heart deep. So you gotta go in there deep to go get it out. You know what I mean? You can't just get it out and surface quick. Right? And they gotta be called by the Most High. They gotta be Most High, it's gotta be their time. It's for us to be that light unto those people and continue to show them this is the way, this is the way, this is the way, this is the way. Just like the Most High keeps showing us. We can't get weary with well doing. So you can say, don't get weary with well doing. Keep teaching the word. Keep showing it to them. Don't decide that person's a waste unless they comment and coming against the word of the Most High, making a mockery of His word. Then we can say, okay, you should act. I ain't got no more to say. Because the scripture say, don't cast my pearls to swine. Most I said, don't cast His pearls to swine. I mean, when you determine swine you're dealing with, all right, you get some more. All right, we're going to move on from you. All right, you might be one of them condemned spirits that's back. I got no time for this. We're going to move on. All right? You can sit there, keep banging against somebody, they try to hit a whistle. Go ahead. Okay. Sometimes you got to say, go ahead. All right, so just, and this is lessons really for, our brothers that teach. They go out there and minister, because if you don't get these lessons in you, you're going to wear yourself out, right? You're going to end up damaging yourself. You're going to keep going against something so long that you're going to get confused, okay? Because you don't understand, why can't you get through to this place? Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Then you be like, damn, am I not teaching this thing right? Maybe I need to go back on my precepts. Because it's plain to you and you just cannot penetrate. You start questioning yourself. Now, don't question yourself. Call it what it is, move on. Somebody else is wasting time. Somebody else can use your words. All right? Somebody else can use this instruction. All right? I'll check back with you, see if the deepest off you another time, but I ain't got no time for this. All right? So, you got to have that spirit, brothers, because you're going to wear yourself out. This is a long road. That's why I'm bringing it out. This is not for the swift. This is a long road. If you wear yourself out too quick, you can have nothing left. All right? You one of them stressed out Israelites. You know what I mean? I met some stressed out Israelites. They talk about 10 years ago like it was 2 years ago. Okay? 20 years ago like it was last week. You just stressed out. You need to chill out. Understand the feel that you're dealing with. And these things are crept in unawares. They're placed in places. Moses said, I made good and I create evil. He told us that. So why are we busting our heads when you come across the evil? He said he created good and evil. We came across the good. So why do you think you're not going to come across the evil then? Right? It doesn't make sense when you really look at it. And there's more evil in the world than good. It's an evil world. So we got to expect to come across the evil. Everybody understand this?
Right. We're going to get a couple more scriptures real quick. Still dealing with how to deal with your brother.
Right.
So we're going to hit Proverbs 18 and 13 real quick. Couple more scriptures.
Proverbs 18, verse 13. He that answereth a matter before he heareth it, it is folly and shame unto him.
So that's another thing we got to try to keep in mind. When you dealing with a person, be patient enough. Again, because this is talking about settings. When you're dealing with your brother, you're trying to let your brother in on the truth that you have. He might not have the truth, be patient with him. So if he got a question, let him speak. Especially if we're not at camp, in a camp setting. And the camp setting, as you know, that's like war in a sense. We're on the front lines. But when you're dealing with a person one-on-one, be patient with them. Hear the person out. See where they're coming from. So then you can use your wisdom and understanding of the scriptures to answer his questions properly. You don't have to come out how you came at somebody asking that same question at camp. You might find a different way to answer because you done heard this person's problems in a sense. Be an ear for him to lean on. We went over there a couple of classes ago, lifting up a brother. And he telling you, man, I need this and I need that. You just tell him about the scriptures, okay, if he feel it, you go about your way. No, we can't treat him like that. Especially if you see that they trying to do the right thing. Help your brother out. Same thing. Ecclesiastes, Sirach, 11 and 8. hitting on that same point real quick. Let you know that, because again, people try to say the Apocrypha has nothing to do with the Bible. But they both telling you the same thing. Go ahead, Ecclesiastes 11:8.
Ecclesiastes 11 verse 8.
Uh-huh.
Answer not before thou hast heard the cause.
That's the same thing Proverbs just told you. Same thing. But it goes a little bit deeper. Go ahead.
Neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk.
So that's, I don't know about y'all, but if you're in the midst of talking, somebody keep interrupting you, that gets you a little heated and hot. So that already starts stirring up spirits. But we still supposed to be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. So when we know the scriptures, so we should automatically conduct ourselves in a better manner than a person that don't know the scriptures. What does the next verse say? I think
Strive not in matters that concerneth thee not,
so.
and sit not in the judgment with sinners.
So that's the same thing. If this matter, because again, previous scriptures, we supposed to be in the commandments continually. We supposed to be listening to godly discourse. If a person ain't talking about a godly discourse and they ain't talking about commandments, hey, I'm gonna holler at you. Be circumspect about the time you spend with that's the scripture, right? Be circumspect about the time you spend around people that's not keeping commandments or that's dealing with sin. And that's dealing, especially as I can ask, hey, let's go to the strip club. No, I'm straight. I don't want to do that. I'm trying to get myself straight. You trying to put more sin on me. What you think gonna happen? We just brought that up. Adultery, fornication, gonna be crept in. But most of the women that I got boyfriends. So now what you think happening? You lusting and everything else that goes along with it. Most High don't want that for us, especially for his people. Soon the whole world gonna be right. But right now the wicked rule. And we know how the wicked get down. What's the other scripture I want real quick? I'm gonna get Matthew 5:16. You had something else to touch on?
Nah.
Matthew
In
5:16.
the scripture you were talking about, redeeming the time.
Oh yeah. You touch on that. I'm gonna do it. So we're gonna Matthew 5:16. Because again, this is what it all still boils down to. A person's supposed to be able to look at you and know who you riding with. They're supposed to be able to see that light that's in you. So when they come and ask you these questions, you know how to respond to them. You know that I don't have to get upset. I can stay in my meek, calm place and be happy and tell you about the Most High. When you see that they ain't getting that understanding, especially if they fighting and going wicked against us, man, that Bible garbage. Why you listen to the white man book? But again, that's Christianity got them thinking like that. Right. So even with them brothers, you got to be patient with them. Then you might be able to, hey, let's go out and eat or something. We can discuss this more in depth. Well, let's sit down and have this discussion. Sometimes you got to draw your brother in a different way. Because to sit down with him and just discuss the Bible, a lot of them don't want to do that.
Break bread with them.
There you go, break bread with them. Because a lot of people, as they eat, and then now you put them in a comfortable setting where it's not like you're attacking them. And it's just like, okay, we're in a calm setting, we can relax. Now let's go over these scriptures. You can pull your phone out real quick. Look what this say. But he's still supposed to be able to look at your actions and see what you're doing. Like, dang. We had another argument last night talking about, yo, man, when I've been moving a certain way. I used to be like this in the streets, now I'm moving like this. So that brother that can gain another brother now. Because he doesn't see, hey, he doesn't switch this. Man, you serious about this thing? Okay. Everybody got a different spirit on dealing with how you want to be able to teach them. Come.
I know, like the scriptures refer to the commandments like all the time, but what's like a specific scripture that, because some people will say, well, that don't bring you no closer to God, that you're doing X, Y, and Z. So what's like a specific scripture
that means, you know. 1 John 23, is it?
Because like they'll be like, oh, you keeping the Sabbath, that don't bring you no closer to God, or you wearing fringes, that don't keep you no closer to God.
Well, but see, with a person like that, do they even read the Bible? So I can show you a scripture, because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to see no scripture. Well, you talk about God. When you first heard about God from? The scriptures. Is it 1 John 23?
Does the scripture have to be in the New Testament or Old Testament?
Oh, anyway, I'm just saying, because they just
So many
like,
scriptures.
Yeah. I like
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so
Testament.
many, just
Yeah.
one that I could always go to and be like,
Only reason I'm gonna use this one for the New Testament, because there's no way to get around this. It's in the New Testament. Because a lot of Christians like, oh, because you come out, oh, that's done away with. But just like we went over, precept still gotta be upon precept. But just to even start it off, now some people will take this harsh. 1 John chapter 2, verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him. Because the answer was, how do you know if you close to him and all this, right? Verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him, and keep not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of the Most High perfected. So that hits a couple of them, let them know you're perfect too. You can't be perfect by dealing with it. Yes, not.
I was asking that. Can we also use Baruch 4 verse 1?
Baruch 4:1? Of course. But only reason, again, like I said, only reason I went to this one is because it's the New Testament. Baruch is automatic, but what's that little red book you're reading?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got to automatically cut out the naysayers before they even get a chance to naysay.
They're ready for Baruch, yeah.
Baruch got a lot of
If they don't even understand, they gotta keep the commandments, they ain't ready for Baruch.
because Baruch, I love Baruch 4:1. That's just a,
Right to the point.
exactly. That's straight to the point. You had something on one?
I was gonna give you one in Romans and Revelation.
What's Romans?
Romans 7:1,
Yeah.
Revelation 14:12.
Only reason I say 7:1 is a toughie in a sense, because as you know, once they get down to 14, oh, I'm in the spirit now. I don't have to do that. Because, hey, I got a homeboy I talk to, and he, huh? Revelation 14:12? Yep, that's another one. 14:12 and 21 and is it 22 and?
Yeah, they can run
14?
around 7.
Huh?
Yeah, they can run around 7.
Yeah.
Because really the context of what Paul is saying is 7. He's comparing being under actually the sacrifices.
Yeah.
So he's actually saying in all contexts, not that you're not under the law. When you read it all the way down in its context. So they can run around that. But you can go to Romans other places, you know what I mean? Romans 6, Romans 3.
That's why it was Revelation 22 and 14.
22 and 14? I'm going to get 12 and 14 first. Because again, that one there is, no, 14:12. Yeah. 14:12 Revelations.
Yeah.
Here's the patient of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of the Mashiach Yahushua.
Right.
That's but believe it or not, you can hit people with this scripture and the one in Revelations 21:12, 21:14, 22:14, and they're still trying to go around it. I see it and it be tripping me out. That's why 1 John 2:3, you can't get around that. You say you know God, right? Well, God just said, if you know me, you keep the commandments. If you don't know me, or if you don't keep the commandments, you don't know me, and you a liar. And the truth not in you. I didn't call you a liar, man. The Bible just said you're a liar. Now, argue with the Bible, and I'm gonna walk away. But this is how but that's where the patience come in at now. Because some of them hear that and be like, so you think you know the Bible now, huh? But, yeah, you asked the question. I just gave you a simple answer.
Now say
Y'all say that.
But that was the whole class dealing with your brother when it's talking about these scriptures. Be patient. I'm gonna get that real quick. Luke 21. That's a scripture you like to use in soldier class. One of the top 3. Luke 21:19. Luke 21 verse 19. In your patience, possess ye your souls. That's a summer up right there. We gotta be patient with our brothers. When we patient with our brothers, we possess our souls. Because they looking at how we move now in the light. Matthew 5:16. Let your light so shine before men. The light is keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, the ordinances. Doing that, wisdom will be bestowed upon you. Then you know how to move. We gotta learn that. As Akim, even Akim online, all Akim, we need to learn that. So we can start dealing with each other like that. Because other people watch how we deal with each other. Some people don't care about that. Because you're trying to get to build your camp up and want the most people in your camp. But Yahushua didn't say nothing about that. We went over that scripture. We got one master. And he's the master of all right now. And he got a father. The Most High, Yahweh. Other than that, that's it. We ain't calling no man our father. Ain't nothing wrong with calling my Akim. What it was? I'm just not my hero. Adawan. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But we know who the ultimate Adawan is. But to show each other respect just at that level, that'll make a person look at you a little different. Hey, what you said to him in Hebrew? I'll call him Lord. It's Jesus? No. We have respect for one another like that.
You wouldn't know that unless you come together in school.
Exactly. Exactly. That's a school thing. But again, the school is to come to learn. Bibles, books, pencils. Take notes.
Brotherhood by yourself.
Exactly. Brotherhood by yourself. It ain't gonna work.
Fellowshipping with yourself.
They say you shouldn't play with yourself, so I'm gonna leave it like that. You shouldn't do that. Gather with the Akim. Go ahead, man.
All right, so beautiful class, the Most High hand we are. I hope everybody's edified and left here with some more knowledge, wisdom, understanding. I know I was. A lot of scriptures came out, a lot of verses, a lot of wisdom poured out. Most High has been gracious to us to continue to build us up and have us come together and be, enriched with the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, the wisdom, instruction, and ordinances. That being said, tomorrow we get together at 12. Tomorrow's going to be a short service because we're going to be preparing for the tabernacle, the first day of the tabernacle. So make sure you're not late tomorrow. If you're late, you might miss the gate. All right, so we will start on time and we will go through the scriptures of the portion tomorrow. All right, so with that being said, Imagine what Panya Rush stand face to